It is the end of December. 2025 is basically dead and buried. I mean, we've had bad years before, right? We lived through 2014. We survived the launch of Cyberpunk on last-gen consoles. But 2025? This felt different. It felt like the industry just completely forgot how to make video games. I got a list here. 5 games. Well, 4 games and one ghost story. If you're an Xbox fan, or a Remedy fan, or just someone who likes functioning video games, grab a drink. This is gonna get ugly.
First up, let's just rip the Band-Aid off. MindsEye. Dude, where do I even start with this? You gotta understand the hype. Leslie Benzies, the guy was the president of Rockstar North. He is practically one of the fathers of GTA. When he left to make his own studio, we all thought, okay, this is it. This is the GTA killer we've been waiting for. Yeah, no, not even close. The game drops, and it's a 37. A 37 on Metacritic. That is shovelware territory. I played it for maybe 2 hours, and I spent half that time stuck in a wall. The AI was so bad, enemies would just stop. They just look at you like they forgot why they were there. It cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make a game that feels like a student project. But wait, it gets better. The bugs aren't even the worst part. Did you guys see the leak? IGN dropped that video of the internal meeting in July. Benzies is standing there, looking dead serious, and he says the game failed because of sabotage. Sabotage! He literally claimed internal and external forces conspired to ruin the game. Bro, nobody sabotaged you. You released a broken game. It's like watching a captain sink the Titanic and then blame the ocean for being too wet. It's paranoid, it's delusional, and honestly, it's kind of sad. The studio's toast, investors ran for the hills, and the GTA killer is officially the biggest joke of the decade.
All right, next one, and this one hurts me personally. FBC, Firebreak. Look, I love Remedy. Max Payne, Alan Wake, Control? These guys are artists. They make weird, single-player, narrative masterpieces. So naturally, some suit in a boardroom decided, hey, you know what we should do? Let's make a generic live service co-op shooter with microtransactions. Why? Just why? Who asked for this? The numbers? Oh man, the numbers are brutal. I checked SteamDB this morning just to make sure I wasn't hallucinating. At launch, on launch day, they had less than 2,000 concurrent players. 2,000! There are indie games made by one guy in a basement to get more players than that. It's the classic chasing trends problem. They saw Helldivers or maybe Destiny and thought, we can do that. No, you can't. Your fans, people like me, we buy your games for the story. We don't want to grind daily challenges for a purple gun skin in the Control universe. It just feels cheap. And now, the game is dead. Like, actually dead. Less than 100 people playing. You can't even find a match. It's a ghost town. They took all that prestige, all that goodwill from Alan Wake 2, and flushed it down the toilet for a quick buck that never came. Remedy, please, never do this again. Now, let's talk about Xbox. Specifically, Perfect Dark. Or I guess, the cancellation of Perfect Dark. This was supposed to be the chosen one, right? Remember back in 2020, they announced the studio, the initiative, they called it the world's first AAA studio. 4 A's, because 3 wasn't enough, apparently. 5 years. They burned cash for 5 years, and in July, Microsoft just pulls the plug. Studio closed, project dead. But here's the thing that makes me absolutely furious. Do you remember the Xbox showcase in 2024, just last year? They showed us gameplay. I sat right here and reacted to it. Joanna Dark doing parkour, sliding, using gadgets. It looked sick. It looked real. Turns out, it was all smoke and mirrors. A vertical slice that didn't actually exist in the game. It was a lie, a straight-up lie to keep the stock price happy or something. Finding out that the gameplay we saw was basically a cartoon, that breaks trust, man. How are we supposed to believe anything they show us now? If they can fake a AAA game trailer a year before canceling the whole thing, what else is fake? State of Decay 3? Gears? It just leaves a bad taste in your mouth. It's not just a failure of a game, it's a failure of management.
Then we have Wonder Woman. And this isn't a haha, look at the bugs failure. This is a tragedy. Warner Bros. Canceled it in February and shut down Monolith Productions. If you don't know Monolith, dude, they made Fear. They made Shadow of Mordor. They created the Nemesis system, literally the coolest mechanic in gaming, where enemies remember you and hold grudges. We were finally gonna get that in a superhero game. Imagine fighting a villain, they escape and come back later with a scar and a new weapon because of you. That would have been incredible. So why did it die? Because of greed, plain and simple. The reports say WB tried to force live service elements into it. They didn't want a great single-player game, they wanted a forever game that sells battle passes. The game was stuck in development hell because you can't just mash those two things together. So instead of fixing it, or just letting them make a good single-player game, they killed the studio. Years of work, millions of dollars, and the legacy of the Shadow of Mordor team, gone, just wiped out. It makes me sick, honestly. We lost a legendary studio because some executive wanted Fortnite money from a Wonder Woman game.
And finally, we gotta talk about The Living Dead, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. This game should have stayed in the coffin. Do you know how long we waited? They announced this thing in 2019, 6 years ago. It went through development hell, they fired the original team, and they handed it to the Chinese room. Now, no shade to them, but those guys make walking simulators. Dear Esther, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture? Great games, but you don't hire a folk singer to headline a heavy metal concert. It came out in October, and surprise, it's a disaster. A 62 on Metacritic. Critics are calling it a linear walking sim. It's not an RPG anymore, it's just walking around, listening to people talk. They spent $60 million on this. And the money? Oh, it's a bloodbath. Parabox Interactive admitted they lost $37 million on it in 1 month. They did a write-down. That is corporate speak for we set a pile of money on fire. It's honestly the final nail in the coffin for the world of darkness. If you were waiting for a legit sequel, keep waiting, because this ain't it.
So, yeah, that was 2025. Paranoid director, a greedy pivot to multiplayer, a fake trailer, a tragic cancellation, and a vampire game that sucked. Literally. I'm ready for next year, man. I'm tired. But hey, let me know in the comments. Did I miss anything? Was there a bigger flop I blocked out of my memory? Don't forget to like and sub if you want more of whatever this rant was. I'm gonna go play some PS2 games to cleanse my palate. Peace.